Hi guys, this is Patricia from Yarny Cat Crochet. Today we went up to Huber's. One of the things we do for my son for his birthday every year is we go and they take a hayride out to the pumpkin patch, and they get the pumpkin, and I look around the farmer's market and buy some things. So I thought I'd do a little bit of a haul. I have a couple of pumpkins. Well, these are actually squash. But if you looked at the thumbnail, you'll see a picture of a minion that they did up there at the farm that they wanted people to pay $11.99 for. I already painted pumpkin, or squash. But I noticed that the squash that they painted it on were $3. And I was like, that's not so hard that I can't paint it. And I can get mine for $3. Well, I mean, and the dollar you pay at the dollar store for the pumpkin paint, you know. So I got me a squash to make my minion. That's one of the things I got. And then along the same lines, I got two of the smaller ones to do whatever with, to make whatever I wanted with paint on there. They're really cute. You could also just use them as decoration. With actual plant material though, you have to be careful where you set them, because if the situation gets just right, they could mold or they could melt all over whatever you set them on. Not what you want to happen. But anyway, aren't they cute? The little baby pumpkins. I think they're actually, these ones are actually squash, but I'm not exactly sure on it. But anyway, my husband and my son got two big pumpkins, and one is a gigantic version of the little one that I got to make my little minion. So there's going to be a big minion, a little minion. There's like going to be like a mini-me minion. And my husband's one was a really pretty palish green color. Oh, it was really neat. They grew a bunch of different kinds this year. Okay, so I got that. And I got half a peck of apples. This is a half peck. To make apple pie, which I hope to get a picture of to put up for you guys to see. I'm going to try and make my pumpkin cutout face in the dough, because I couldn't find that picture to show you guys like I talked about in a couple episodes, and I really wanted to show you what that looked like. So I'm going to try it again. I mean, if I did it once, I can do it again, right? We did it before and we will do it again. Anyway, oh, and the last thing I got there was some honey. It was $14.99, but they had a liter bottle, same honey, just in the honey bears, $13.99. And I thought, I'm gonna pay $1 more and get twice as much honey, so I got the big bottle. And it's from Huber's. It says Huber's Orchard and Winery. Oh, it has their little address, phone number on there. And so you could look that up if you wanted to order you some Huber's honey. And it's Indiana raw honey. Put a little bit of that in your tea, which I'm going to do, but I can't have a lot because I'm diabetic. But I thought a little bit will flavor it, give it a little honey flavor. Or you could make honey glazed chicken, or you could use it for waffles, or make you some honey butter for biscuits. I mean, honey, it's like in the Egyptian tombs, they found honey that was still good because it has antibacterial properties in it. Of course, I wouldn't try it, but but anyway, it had some facts on the back. It says, did you know bees visit 2 million flowers to make 1 pound of honey? Bees are so very vitally important. Please take care of your bees if you have any that are in your yard and stuff. be careful. Watch the plant pesticides and stuff. Some of it has a nerve agent in it that'll, not only will it kill the bee, but it'll take that back to its hive and kill the whole colony. So be really very careful at this stuff. Like some termite stuff that they treat the houses with will kill bees. There's all kinds of bee safe stuff that you can put on your plants that won't hurt the bees, but it'll keep your plants safe. So totally look into that if you're got bees that hang around. We let the grass grow. So we have a lot of clover in our grass, and we let the grass grow for a little bit with the clovers out so the bees can, collect clover for the honey. And then we'll mow, and then 2 weeks later we'll do it all over again. But, it gives the bees flowers. Plus we got a couple rose bushes. Plant you some lavender. They love lavender. And I've never tried lavender honey, but I bet it's good. But anyway, so nice. How many ounces is this? Sorry guys, I have trouble with really, really small words. This is 2 pounds, so it was 4 million bees, or 4 million flowers. That's 4 million flowers to make this jar of honey. So respect those bees, they deserve it. And then they have their own cute plastic, which I will be reusing because, I don't like wasting or throwing plastic bags back into the environment. I'll do something with it. It's kind of cute. It's got the pumpkins on it. Okay. I've seen people make bags or mats for the homeless, sleeping mats. So I think I showed you everything. Yeah, I showed you everything I got. And then last night I did the late night crochet and chat. So I thought I'd work some more on it tonight. In my cup, I have coffee. And it's got coconut creamer in it. And on my hook, you guys know I got hats. Also, I started another hat today. I didn't work on the hat that I was working with you guys on because I want to show you how to do the rest of it. If you followed that at all, it was kind of dark in my room. But we got this far. And I know it doesn't look like a hat right now, but if you keep going, it turns into a beanie. We crocheted it just far enough to where you need it for the crown of your head. And if you're a bigger headed person, you just make it more, you just expand on that formula of how many till you're done increasing. And then that was with this yarn, which was the Neon Signs yarn, which is just so gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous. You have to imagine that started out in the middle of that green color. Okay, and then this one was the glowworm. And for those of y'all that didn't see the late night crochet and chat I did, this is a medium 4-weight, 100% acrylic, tested and approved against 350 plus harmful substances. It's Premier Sweet Roll Vivid, one of the brand new ones that I bought so I could show it to you guys. They sent, you probably have seen it because they sent some out to other YouTubers to test out and showcase on their channel. This is the hat I started on while I was at Huber's. While I was waiting I'd already been through shopping. And I was sitting out. Oh, there were so many people. It was just completely filled with people. As we were going up there, we were in this long line, and it takes quite a while to get there. And in my head, I'm thinking, I bet they're all going to Huber's. And sure enough, oh my goodness, I couldn't even begin to tell you the amount of people that were there. There were lines. Lines for everything. But it wasn't too bad, and you can look around. There's pumpkins. I'll be putting some pictures up. And maybe I'll make a reel or something short showing all the pictures that I took while I was up there. It was super, super fun. I got a pumpkin pie latte. The guys got ice cream. By guys, I mean my husband and my son. We got to see some people brought their dogs. I wouldn't have been that brave. I'd have been too afraid. Something might happen to the dog. Something might happen to people. I wouldn't do that. But it was so bright and sunshiny, and it was just a little bit cold. So that was nice because, you don't want to be too overheated. And they had a live band that was playing music the whole time. And there was all kinds of things for kids to do. My kid is all grown up, but see, this started out with like a purple, and then it's gone into this reddish color. And this one was my favorite. It was the lava lamp. So I started another hat while I was there, but I'm not going to work on this hat while I'm on here. I'm going to work on the one that we started on yesterday while the guys were watching the scary movies, and I was hiding in the bedroom. Oh, and I wanted to update. I got in touch with the winner of the giveaway, so I'll be mailing that off. And we will be doing the next giveaway here shortly, where I'm going to buy some Christmas yarn and get it out to you guys as quick as possible because Christmas is coming, in case y'all didn't know. But I thought maybe it would give somebody some stuff to make some ornaments or some pot holders or dishcloths or stockings or angels. I don't know. We'll see what yarn I pick out. But brighten somebody's day with a free Christmas yarn. Plus, I'll throw in a little bit of yarn that I already have. So anyway, we increased this last we talked to the size that I need. So now we are going to begin the process of the body of the hat. And I think I'm just going to make this a regular beanie because I didn't have a tutorial. It wasn't really a tutorial. It was hard to see unless you really know all the things. You wouldn't, a tutorial I feel like should very clearly show each step and be really easy to follow. This one you had to have a little bit of knowledge because you couldn't see hardly what I was doing. And as a matter of fact, you can't see now, so I'm going to adjust this a little bit where you can see more of the, less of my messy hair, but more of the project. But anyway, so we're going to chat and do this. So I chain, once I get to the where I'm going down the body of the hat, I switch to half double crochet. So instead of chaining 2 up, I just chain 1. Yarn over, go in the same hole where you chained up, half double crochet. And then you just half double crochet all the way around until you get back to the beginning. And you're going to do a couple of rows of that. Well, a lot of rows because that's how we're going to do the body of this hat. Basically, you just half double crochet till you get it to the length you want it. Now you could switch this up. You could do different stitches. You could throw in a couple of separated rows of bobble stitches. You could do V stitches. As long as you do the exact number of, as long as you end with the exact number of stitches that you need to start the V stitch. I can't remember. I think it's multiples of 3, but don't quote. Oh, sorry. Don't quote me on that because I'm not exactly sure. But it's really, really simple if you know the styles. And when I go to do if you know the stitches, not the styles, when I go to do the ski slope beanie tutorial, I'll have the camera where you can see in first person how it's done. But this is just crochet and chat, so it's not really a tutorial. But I like to knit or crochet, and which I will do a knitting one after I finish. I thought you guys deserve to have a finished hat. So I'll finish this with you all, and then I'll do a knitting one for everybody who knits, which, by the way, I am such a novice at knitting. I can't, make some scarves or something, pretty much. What? Pillows, anything square or rectangle, just like Angie Bell would put it from My Fairy Treasures. But yeah, I would love to learn more stitches, and I will eventually. So anyway, so what have y'all been up to? Leave a comment on what you've been crocheting or knitting. Have you tried any new teas out? I can't get very many. I can get anything that's in the United States, and I can try to get anything that's from other places, but I prefer to buy something that I can get from in the United States so I don't have to wait on shipping. And I heard you guys were having a strike, so I'm kind of glad somebody from the U.S. won it, because I want it to be able to get to whoever won it, but maybe by the time I do the next one, their strike will be over, I hope, because I would really hate for somebody not to get the prize that they won. That would be really sad. And look at y'all. There's another one of those tie-ins. Brand new yarn. That's the only problem I have with the new Premier Vivid Sweet Roll yarn. Otherwise, it's very, very soft. The colors are so bright and vivid. It's spongy, just squishy, like you would really, really want. You would want the yarn to be. So, let's see, what else? We ate at Tumbleweed with Craig's grandparents. His grandpa and his Aunt Charlotte. Whereas I have this really huge family. My husband's family is very small. His dad was the only boy, and he had a sister. And then my husband's dad, he had a sister, and he was the only boy. And his dad was the only boy prior. So the great-grandfather, the grandfather, my husband, all only had one boy. We only had one child, and he's a boy. So, a 25-year-old boy now. But, so, there's not a whole lot of kids. So they have a very small family. And my father-in-law's sister had like 5 or 6 kids. And they just didn't get around each other very much, so it's not like we have a lot of that influence on his side. So it's basically just my father-in-law and my sister-in-law who my son gets to see. Whereas on my side of the family, there's like a ton of people, and you'd have trouble avoiding them. You would, not that we want to avoid them, I'm just saying there's so many that live all over the place that it'd be hard to miss one of them. My grandpa used to say he had 9 children, 5 boys and 4 girls. And one of them would say from the back of the car, Dad, so-and-so's touching me. And my grandpa would be like, well, I sure hope so, or he fell out of the car. You know, there wasn't that much room. they, they had a huge family, you know. Back when people did have a lot more children. So, after you half double crochet all the way around, you just slip stitch into the beginning of the round, and you crochet, or you're crocheting, but you chain one up, and then you half double crochet in the hole and half double crochet all the way around. Basically, this is just it, and then you just keep adding rows until it gets to where you want it. If you want it where you can fold it up to be a folded up hat, a brim, then you just make it longer. If you want it to be slouchy, you make it longer so you can pull it back and it'll be slouchy. I usually like to make just regular beanies. Sometimes I'll make it with a little slouch, but I like to crochet them to the bottom of my ear so that my ears are covered. But you can make it however long or short that you want. If I'm going to make it to where it folds up, I'll crochet like a rectangle where it kind of looks like it's been knitted, but it's not. And then sew that together and then cinch up the top, and then you can flip up the brim. Because if you fold up the brim on this, you will have the back side of the hat, which is okay, but I've always been of the opinion the back side is the wrong side. So I just like the what I call the more finished side facing outwards. So I just make beanies. But anyway, that's pretty much how you make this hat. You just keep crocheting until you get it to the length that you want it. Half double crochet. The reason why I do double crochet at the top, because I'm a little bit impatient and it gets the job done quicker. So to get the brim, the top, what would you call that? The crown of the hat big enough, I do double crochets. And then on the sides, I do the half double crochets because it's tighter, more close together stitch for warmth. And you could put, I do put palms on these sometimes. You can do any kind of palm you want. You could make you a crochet, a yarn. You don't crochet it. It's a yarn palm where you take the yarn and make a pom-pom out of it. Those aren't my favorite. I like the faux fur ones that look like, different colors. And they got one called like raccoon fur, which it's just the colored palm with like the tips of everything has like a raccoon, a darker color. Like I had a purple one. I wish I had it out where I could show you for my mom's hat, but it had raccoon tips on it, on the purple fur, which is really pretty. This one would be really cute with I've seen rainbow colored full fur palms. I mean, you could just do whatever you wanted with it, or not add a palm at all, which is usually what I do when it's for me. But you could tie a palm on the top. You could after you did the hat, you could make like a half circle. You can make it to like here, and then make like the half circle, like those Andes woolen hats that have the braid that comes down on the sides, the two long pieces, and it has a flap that covers your ear. I mean, just pretty much use your imagination. Let your yarn be your crayons, make it however you want it to look. You could crochet a flower to put on the side, which I did try for my last hat, this one, because I have extra yarn left over. I really like this hat. I don't look good in hats, but I do like how this one turned out. Um, but anyway, yeah, I did some texture stitches on that. But yeah, I was gonna make a flower to put on the side, and I didn't do very well at my first attempt, so I may revisit that later. I want to have fun when I do this, not be frustrated. The whole point is to be happy and give gifts and make other people happy, and I don't want to add stress to my life. Okay, now it's hard to see, but this is eventually, see, it's already curling down to make your beanie, and eventually it folds into, a beanie once you get it all the way down. So I've had a lot of ideas. I've already told you about the Christmas thing. In January, I'd like to start that crochet along granny squares. Let's see. Oh, yeah, if you're a creator and you have videos of like beauty hacks or beauty tips, I'm thinking about doing, I just have I'm no beauty. I'm beautiful on the inside, but I have a few things that are my favorite products, stuff that I use that I thought about talking about. And then after I do my short little vid, I would like to, in the description box, link your video to, give people other avenues to look at beauty tips, like beauty tips that you did. Like, for instance, I saw Donia, I watched her last video where she made a shea butter, body butter lotion. And I thought that was just super cool, and that's what really sparked the idea. And so, like, I could link her video where people could go and check out her video of how she did it. And that way, my short little video and the few things that I know could be linked with so many other things. Plus, your channel would get more traffic if people were watching mine and decide, oh, I want to see this beauty tip or that beauty tip or this hack, beauty hack, just women talk, men talk, people talk. Just, everybody has, different things that they do to make them feel better or look better or whatever. Special calming tea, something you put on your eyes or a face mask or whatever. If you've created a video where I could go and put the link in for the people to see that video, I'd like to do that. So just put me a message down in the comments about how to find your video, and I'll try and link those up when I do that video. I'll give it a week or two for people to, say whether or not they want to do it. But anyway, yeah, so that was one thing I was thinking about. Self-care, it's the middle of it will be shortly, start being winter. People will be stuck in more, and I just thought, like Donia, she made 2 jars of that body shea butter, body butter, and that might last her the winter. I'm not really sure, but you could be making up things that, or you could make them for gifts, for like if you want to make a spa basket for somebody, we could do some washcloth. I mean, pretty much everybody has done a washcloth tutorial. But, you know, we could do some washcloths together. Um, I don't know. Just things I was brainstorming because you can't do giveaway videos all the time. They're so fun, though, you guys. My very first video, and Giddy Up won it. Congratulations, Giddy Up. So excited. I'm going to get that box out as soon as I can. If not tomorrow, then Monday, I'm hoping. And I won't get to see how much it costs to ship it out of the United States because she lives in the United States. But I was willing. I just want you guys to know I was so willing. But anyway, so now I'm going to the next row. If you guys aren't crocheting along with the hat, hopefully you're crocheting along with your own project, or you just got me on while you're doing some craft, or maybe picking up your living room, finishing the dishes, whatever you do. I would greatly appreciate that you were doing that while you were listening to me while you were doing that. That would be really nice. I hope I'm not boring anybody. Although, if you want to use this as a put yourself to sleep video, that works too. I would get my viewing hours and you would get a good nap if I bore you. It's okay to say that I'm boring. But I hope that you don't think so. But it's okay. The last couple of days I've having trouble keeping up with everybody's videos because of birthday festivities for my son. And we had a really good visit with his grandpa and his aunt. And I took some pictures because that's important. His grandpa's in his 80s. And you want to spend that quality time while you can. He's very active, his grandpa. He goes to church meetings several times a week, and he's active in his church. He used to be a realist. Well, he's been a couple of things. He worked at the Naval Ordnance in Louisville, Kentucky, for his whole career, and he retired from there, and then that was I don't know what time period. I don't think it was World War II because he would be older, so it must have been after World War II. But anyway, he worked his entire career at the Naval Ordnance in Louisville, and did a lot of good things on projects and stuff. And we have a couple of papers where he was accredited for some things. It was pretty neat. And then he retired from there, and he got a job as a real estate agent and worked for a good long time selling houses. And then he retired from that, and he basically had some rental houses. And then he sold those, and so now he's just retired. But he kept himself busy, and he's still keeping himself busy with the church. So, I mean, that's good because you want to keep busy. Especially if you're stuck in the house. You want to do, you want to get out and do something occasionally. I'm going to be working on beanies and get those to the place that gives away food, get it to them by Thanksgiving so they can hand them out with the baskets, I hope. I've got 4 done, so I'm going to get busy on it. Plus, in between, making gifts. Oh, by the way, That shawl that I was making for my grandma, yeah, I frogged it. It was too loose for me. I was using way too big of a crochet hook. It was a 9, and it's the same weight as this yarn here that I'm using a 5.25 on. And so I just, it was pretty, it was frilly, but I just couldn't handle it anymore, so I frogged it. And let me see, where did I put that at? Oh, it's in a box. Oh wait, I thought I had gotten it out because I wanted to show it to you guys. I wrapped it around, I held the string and I wrapped it around my hand until it got big enough. And then because the string was, I had the string out like this, and I wrapped the yarn around and around and around my hand until it was big enough. Then I pulled it off, and then I just wrapped and wrapped and wrapped and wrapped and wrapped, wrapped to make it where it has a center pull string. So I can pull out from the center like a cake. I don't have a yarn ball winder yet, but I'm going to get one. And it's so that was a way for me to get to cheat and get not really a cake, it's more a ball, but a center pull string. I use my noggin. But anyway, so yeah, my father-in-law's kept himself pretty busy. So that is good. Anyway, we got a lot of good quality time in with them and some pictures for my son's photo album for when he ever gets his family. So at first it doesn't really look, it looks more like a yarmulke than it does a beanie, but it eventually eventually turns into a beanie. Oh, I forgot to chain up one. That would have looked stupid. All right. So anyway, that's about all that's been going on, and hopefully y'all got, some good advice on how to make a beanie hat. Not really a tutorial, but maybe it helped you, and I'll be glad if it did. Like I said, I'm not really good at explaining things, and I don't know if I'll be good at making a tutorial, but I want to make it where you guys can see it firsthand experience, because it's really hard to watch what people are doing from behind the work, But anyway, this yarn is just gorgeous. You can make a baby blanket out of it. It'd be a perfect baby blanket. I'm making, this is a breast cancer awareness beanie because my family member had a double mastectomy, and there's a lot of people that go through and get breast cancer. It's not just a women thing, men also get it. And it's something that is really hard for people to talk about. It's very personal. And, it's something that I hope that they find a cure for. They have found this one treatment that for cancer that was really effective. It's in trial stages, so I don't know if I think it's just for certain kind of cancers, but I mean, it's a step in the right direction. It's something that we all need to be more involved in, whether it's making hats and talking about it for awareness, or donating to a charity, or making things to sell to donate the money to for charity. Just giving some of your volunteer time at the hospital, make some very soft hats for people that have been through chemo, or, I don't know. But if you use your imagination, you could go up and maybe you know, just be there. Be there for family. I used to sit with patients. Of course, it was my job, but sometimes I'd go to the hospital and sit with a patient so the family could have a break, you know, to get out and get some air. And I would just go up there and sit with them. And I know they have volunteer programs. The thing is, though, right now with COVID, I don't know. See, and mine was a paid job, so I had to go there. But they might limit the volunteers maybe due to COVID. I don't know. But I did sit with the patients, and it was a very rewarding job. I worked in a house with people that were developmentally disabled, and I did hospital visits where I sat with people so the family could get a break, because the nurses can't be in there 24/7, and the patients will pull off their leads. You know, some of them have dementia or Alzheimer's, you know, so that saved the nurses because they have so many patients. They're just so overwhelmed. Like I said, though, with the COVID, they may not allow volunteers. I don't know. But you can always ask. Squeaky wheel gets oiled. I love the different colors. I love how it's a little splotchy. I just love these colors. And they would brighten somebody's day. And it has the breast cancer awareness color in it. I guess any pink would work, but I really like the hot pink. But anyway, you just keep doing that till you get a long enough beanie. And the ski slope beanie is just as easy with a few little variations. And like I said, you could put bobble stitches. You could do popcorn stitches. There's really cool berets with popcorn stitch. There's the sky's the limit. Whatever stitch you know how to do. Front post, back post. This one had front posts in it to make that little textured area there. And then I made it a little tighter down toward the end so it would, you know, hug my face. I'll put it on for you. I do not look good in hats. Full disclaimer. Don't judge my hat on how it looks on me. But it's a little slouchy in the back. And it covers my ears, which is important. And I don't wear hats, but I will wear a hat if it's too cold out, because I don't want to get sick. Something I don't need is to make myself sick, so I'm not stupid. But hats they aren't my thing, but I do like to make them. I love to make them. It's a quick project. It's instant gratification. It makes people happy, so it's win-win-win. Well, anyway, guys, I'm going to let you go. If you go back to the other video, it talks about how to do the top. You have to have a little bit of knowledge because it's not a tutorial. So with me talking about it, hopefully you get enough of an idea of how to do it. One of these days, I'll get the camera set up and I'll do it. The only thing is the only setup I have is a tripod, and then you got to reach your arms around it and then work. So you got this tripod in between you and the work, and it's a little awkward. Kind of hurts my back. So I want to get one of those things I could put around my neck, or, get a higher setup where I can tilt it down and you still get a first-person view of it. I'm limited on the equipment that I have. But anyway, yeah, I really, really, really highly recommend these yarns. They are so nice. Hopefully they'll have a sale. This one is glowworm. This one's lava lamp. This one, which has most of the color out of it now, is neon signs. Those were the 3 colors I really liked. I really, really recommend it. They're awesome. And they're new right now, but eventually they'll come on sale. And when they do, buddy, I'm going to stock me up some because those are the kind of colors that could spread some joy. And you guys know, if you've watched me for very long, you know that I like to spread the joy. I encourage everybody to go out and spread some joy. Teach somebody your craft. Make something for somebody, like a hat. Sometimes I make my neighbor banana bread because he really likes it. And he's an older gentleman and doesn't have anybody to bake for him. And so I'll make banana bread and I'll have my husband take it over there, and he'll always ask my husband, he'll say, "Did she make you any?" I just love it. And my husband goes, "No," which I do. It's just a fun joke that we do. But he watches out for our place too. He has cameras set up to watch his yard and all that stuff, which we don't have trouble around here. But if we did, he would know about it and he'd call the police for us if we need help. Anyway, I like to send a loaf of banana bread over for him. I'm not a really good cook, but I can make banana bread from a box. I use Crust Ease. It's Krusteaz. There might be an E on the end of it, but that's a brand. I don't know if that's a brand we have on both sides of the pond or what, but it's the closest to homemade. It has all good homemade ingredients. It has nuts in it. If you have a nut allergy, please be careful. Don't use that. But if you can have nuts, it has nuts in it. And what I do is I take a fresh banana and chop it up into tinier bits and throw it in the mix. And sometimes I throw an extra handful of walnuts in there. It already has some, but I throw in some extra. And then as it bakes, it just, it's so good. It tastes like I started from scratch, which is helpful to me because I have trouble with my hands. And sometimes I just, it's easier. If it's easier, then I can do it. You can mix for a little bit, But anyway, that's enough chatting for tonight. I hope you guys enjoyed it. There's going to be some prize unboxings soon. Some yarn I bought coming that I will showcase. Just all kinds of good things. So welcome to all the new people. Hopefully you stick around. Thank you for everybody who's returned. I usually do a scripture card at the end of my videos. If you don't care for scripture, go ahead and click out of the video, and we'll see you next time. I pick from the front, put it in the back. It has a nice saying on the front that corresponds with the scripture that's on the back side. It says, "For your guiding light and lasting love, God bless you." And it says, "You are God's masterpiece." Ephesians 2:10. And you are. Every one of you has been made perfect. And you don't think so, but you're exactly the way you're supposed to be. And you share that wonderfulness with the world around you and spread your joy. And if you don't have but a second as you're passing somebody by to make an impression on them, if all you have is a second, give them a smile, because you don't know what they've been through that day. They could think that the whole world is against them and nobody loves them. And you give them a smile and it changes their, you don't think so, but something just as little as a smile, some kindness shown to your neighbor or your friends or the person walking down the street can make a world of difference. You may never know the difference that you made, but you will make a difference. God bless y'all. And before I start, I am very, emotional. Before I start crying, I'll tell y'all good night, and I really appreciate every one of you. I love you all. I pray for you, and I hope that you are having a wonderful day or night. And just blessings and hugs to everybody. We'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.